What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel, and today I want to talk about Sony. I want to talk about Sony and the future of Sony in these live service games, guys. I'm a Sony fan, just so you guys know. I play everything. I own every console, but my favorite, if I had to choose, would be Sony. All right, and it has been for the past decade or so, probably on the second part of the PlayStation 3's lifespan until present day. I just believe in great games, okay? If it's on Xbox, if it's on Nintendo, if it's a great game, it's a great game. You know, you can't deny that. Anybody telling you that they only play one system and there's nothing else they would ever play on another system, PC, wherever, is probably lying to you. The reason I wanted to make this video is because a lot of stuff has been going on with Sony lately in their live service games. And I thought they had tucked that in a while back, but apparently they're still on that path, guys. And that's an issue for me, because what made me fall in love with Sony in the first place is their single player experiences. And for most of us who are Sony fans, that's what we typically look for. Now, if there's one thing I gotta be honest with and say is live service games aren't going anywhere, okay? That's just a part of life now as a gamer that we have to accept moving forward. They're not going anywhere. They're going to be around. And there are some good ones, okay? Helldivers 2, let's keep it real. Helldivers 2 was a lightning in a bottle type of thing. I don't think Sony expected that to do what it did, but it did big things and still doing big things. And it's a great game. But Concord, a game that when it came out, it was disastrous, guys, and they had to let it go. That thing was in the oven for years, and they spent so much money on that, trying to develop that game. They lost so much money on that game, guys, trying to follow trends. I think that's the problem with Sony, or has been at least. They've been following trends and spending way too much money on these live service games, trying to become the next Fortnite, okay? Trying to do these things that's not their forte. That's not in their wheelhouse, okay? They make great single player games. And I think they should stick to that. I think that's the recipe for what they should be doing. Now, there have been former presidents and things of that nature who wanted to stick to that. But, you know, upon hiring new people, those things changed, okay? And the people's visions changed. And that's what we have right now, all right? Whoever you have under the hood working on these things, sometimes you're going to get different results, and sometimes not for the better, okay? I just wanted to make this video because Sony still has lots of online live service games in the oven that are cooking. And one of them that I hear people talking about is Fair Game. And this one was a disaster. It's not even out yet. But just to give you a little insight on that, okay, former Assassin's Creed boss Jade Raymond, okay, he made a team for this game, and basically it was supposed to be described as a modern take on the heist genre, okay?
Show me the money.
So they did some testing on the game, all right? They did some rebalancing and things of that nature, but apparently the game didn't do well for testing. The game went out for testing and it was trash, apparently. And what happened was, as a result of that, Raymond left the studio.
Get the fuck out of my office.
Okay, he actually left. And so the game is still reportedly coming out sometime for 2026. That is still a target. So they are still going to release this game. I guess they fired him, or he left. They gave him that option to leave and not be fired to save face. And they're going to go ahead and open up the hood and try to do something else in there. Okay. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because if Sony just stuck to what they do best, we wouldn't have a lot of these problems, guys. Okay. When The Last of Us, the original, came out, I remember that game, and it was a masterpiece. And it also had an online multiplayer on there. Okay. Now, I'm sure when they made that multiplayer, they were just trying to give the fans a little bit more of what they thought we were going to love. And as a result of that, it turned out beautifully. Okay. That game, that portion of the game was actually fun. It was one of my favorite parts of the game, and people still play that to this day. Okay. If they stuck to this type of recipe, I mean, I don't think we'd have too many problems. All right. I really don't. I think that it's fine to give us something like what they did with the first Last of Us game, but say it blows up. They do something with another single player game and they give us an online add-on and it blows up, right? Okay, support it. Continue to do that. Do your thing or whatever. But let's not put teams, all right, and spend millions and sometimes billions of dollars on these projects that never account to anything. You're just hemorrhaging money right now, trying to chase another person's game. And it just doesn't make sense. Okay. You have a lot of games still in the oven that are coming out. You got Horizon multiplayer. Okay. It's a multiplayer and it's an MMO. All right. And supposedly there's another Horizon game. It's supposed to be by a company called NC Soft, and they're going to be working on Horizon MMO. All right. So this one is just rumbles. Okay. These are what people are talking about. And apparently this game has been canceled and then uncanceled. So currently right now, at the time of the video, at least, this game is still green lit. Okay. So they're trying to take that Horizon Zero Dawn franchise and turn it into something, make some money off the back end of it, which, you know, I think they could just leave alone as is. But like I said, guys, all this money that they're putting into these online games, they could be used to make other great single player experiences, the things that they do best. But, you know, instead they're trying to just throw a bunch of stuff at the wall and see what sticks. All right. And Helldivers kind of hurt in a sense, because that game came out. They didn't think it was going to do what it did. It did that. And now it's kind of fueled the fire for them to say, well, you know what? Let's keep making these games and let's keep throwing these at the wall and trying to see what sticks. And the problem with that is, though, guys, is when they did that, or when they're doing that, they're taking away from what they do best, which is the single player games. If you notice, guys, we don't have a lot of Sony first party games coming out anymore. Okay. It's so rare now. We're not getting them. We were on the PS4's life cycle, guys. We were getting them all the time. Every time you turned around, you were getting games, right? But now that's not the case. And we're leaning into this digital space. And it seems like everybody's starting to merge together, where none of the exclusive stuff matters as much anymore. It doesn't, right? And I think that's why you're seeing less and less of this stuff happen. But I just would really love Sony to stick to what they do and continue doing that. I mean, I would love to see more first party games. I mean, there's a few in the oven. There's a couple at least, but that's not like it used to be, guys. We're used to getting at least 4 of these on average a year. And I think this year we might get 2, maybe. So, you know, it's dwindling, and I feel some type of way about that. Now, Bungie's Marathon is a game that is supposed to be coming out September 23rd. And look, I'm the first person to tell you guys, I'm not a third person shooter kind of person. All right. I play a few of them, but most of them are single player games. Okay. And they're not online. Okay. And if I do play online games, you're going to get something from me like The Division. Okay. That series. I loved that series. I love third person shooters and third person games. Okay. Mostly. There are some exceptions, and I'm not gonna lie to you, Marathon, you know, looks cool. It looks like something that I would play, at least want to try out. I like the art style of it. I like, you know, what I saw so far to date, but that's about where I have to draw the line, because the game's not out yet and I have to play it and all of that. And then that comes into question what they charge for these games. Okay. We still don't know what Bungie is going to be charging for this. And I'm going to give them a pass. I'm going to give Marathon a pass right now, only because of what they did with Destiny. On the strength of Destiny, I think you should give Marathon at least a pass until the game comes out and you play it yourself. All right. They've at least earned that, in my opinion. So if you're wondering, oh, I think Marathon's going to suck or whatever, maybe just give them a chance on the strength of that. That's how I operate. Okay. If a company or if a studio puts a game out and I fall in love with that studio, right, because of this game, and they say, oh, we got a new project coming out, guess what? I'm going to buy that and give them a shot. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and see what they got cooking on the next game off of the strength of the last game. But if they fuck that up, then that's where I say, okay, well, I gave you a chance. You fucked that up. So now moving forward, guys, I got to play the super skeptic. I got to make sure I cross all my T's and dot all my I's now. But that's what I'm going to do with Marathon. Like I said, aesthetically, it looks good. I like the way it looks. And it looks like it's going to be decent. The gameplay looks like it's going to be decent. And this is a game that I guess I'm assuming that if it's going to be live service, they're going to be expanding on it. So it could be something special. Only time will tell. And we'll see. I mean, you know, they're trying to duplicate what they did with Destiny. You know, they may come close. Who knows? I don't know with this game, but I'm saying all that to say I don't play a lot of these type of games, but I'm willing to give this one a shot. This is just my humble opinion, guys, moving forward. And it's probably it. I mean, as far as all the other games that are coming down the pipeline that Sony has going on, they had a God of War live service game they were working on, and they quickly put that in the trash, and rightfully so. Okay, it seems like they're trying to capitalize on their first party games and live out the glory with those, but sometimes those things don't work. And thank God somebody in that studio was smart enough to see that and not put that shit out. Okay, and then you have Naughty Dog, which, you know, they got a lot in the oven. Okay, apparently they have two. Yes, I said it. Two. First party single player games, which, you know, kind of blows my mind. Now we're just playing the waiting game, but we all know about, well, most of us know about Intergalactic. Okay, the Heretic Prophet, we know about that one. But the other one we don't know about is what everybody's guessing the game is. It's going to be Last of Us 3. Okay, that's what most people think. That's what most press and writers are thinking that this game is going to be. Okay, but these things are still in the oven, barely cooked, and who knows when these are going to come out. Okay, I think Intergalactic is 2026, and then The Last of Us 3 would probably be 2027 probably, guys. So there's no time soon. So I'm saying that as well to say that that's not going to help us now. That's not going to help us in 2025 or 2026 really. And because I don't even know when, I can't remember when Intergalactic is dropping in 2026, but I mean, it's far and in between. Okay, I am a huge Naughty Dog fan though. Please don't get it twisted. Last of Us 2 is one of my all-time favorites, and Last of Us 1 is right there too. So, you know, I love that series, but if we're waiting on that and that's all we're waiting on, then, you know, that's not enough. Okay, so there's a lot of projects still in the works, and there's a lot of projects that that are probably acts that we don't even know about, guys, if I'm being honest with you. But that's just what it is. Okay, you got the fair game information. You know about Concord, what happened with them. Helldivers is kicking strong, and I think that's the reason why we're still getting a lot of fight and push for a lot of these games, these live service games, because of what happened with Helldivers 2. And so I have to ask, where we go from here?
What kind of sick ass question is that?
Okay, because you don't hear a lot of the first party games coming out anymore. So I wanted to make this video because I guess I was just thinking about this, and I decided to jump in and do a little research and find out what was going on out here with these games. And this is what we have, guys, right now to look forward to. So if you're hoping first party games or live service games, let me say that, if you're hoping that these games are going to die out, they're not. Okay, Sony's going to keep producing them apparently until they hire somebody else who changes that temperature. So with that being said, guys, I want to thank everybody for watching. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. It's a revamping of this channel. I'm revamping it, guys, and I'm going to be putting out content pretty much 3-4 times a week. So if you want that content, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video.